Well, hello there. So here in America, we are swiftly coming up on Inauguration Day and whatever tariffs do or do not come with that. We'll see how that goes. And I was torn on what I would do on this this last year video before that. And I thought, you know, what the hell, I'm just going to do Scotch. Because in some ways, the inflation in spirits, at least here in the U.S., that we are now seeing, it really started with the those Scotch tariffs from the first time we did this. So this seems appropriate, but there's another reason. There's another reason, and it's. I'm going to offend a lot of people saying this because I'm supposed to be the guy who is the champion of, weird spirit, alternative spirits, the nerdy stuff. A lot of people come here looking for rum reviews, looking for me to champion, Armagnac and Hampden and whatever, that kind of thing. And I am here to say, I think Scotch is kind of becoming a buy again. Now, when I say that, I don't mean the big names. If you're looking for cask strength Clynelish, you're still going to be paying out your butt. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. But the thing about Scotland is it might have the deepest bench of any booze country I can think of. There are hundreds of malt distilleries out there. And very few of them really get the spotlight very often, at least unless you're a complete nerd like I am. And very few of them are bad. So, I think now that the investors have stopped literally buying up every single cask and every single bottle they can get a hold of, prices have started getting reasonable again. You're starting to see Signatory stop doing the thing where, to justify selling a 7-year-old Linkwood to you, they will dunk it in sherry for a few months to justify that $100+ price tag. They're moving away from that. You're starting to see the 100 proof series and other things like that, which are really pushing the prices back down to a reasonable level. And that's great. I will probably do a fair number of Scotch reviews in the next couple of months maybe, because I bought way too much of it. But we're going to start with some new distilleries. We're going to do Kingsbarns, and we're going to do Isle of Raasay. So, fun contrast here. Kingsbarns is far eastern Lowlands. This is Fife, kind of almost hitting the channel. This is relatively recent distillery. And then Raasay, even more recent distillery. I think this is 2017 or something. Or this is the 14 for the Kingsbarns. Raasay, an island kind of just northeast of Skye. It's like, that's basically it. If you start in Skye and you go northeast a little bit, you hit the Isle of Raasay. And there's a couple of hundred people living there. It's very, very small. But they got a distillery now. So enough babbling from me. Let's taste these things out. First up, Kingsbarns. This is the Balcomie. I was in Binny's, and the Weymouth guys who owned the distillery were tasting this stuff out along with the rest of their lineup, and I thought it was absolutely delightful, so I grabbed a bottle. Now, what is this? Lowland single malt Scotch whiskey. No age statement. It's pretty common among a lot of the new distilleries, which is what we're doing today. Distilled with Fife barley and matured in ex-oloroso, but here's the fun thing. It's sherry casks, but it's American oak. And that is often a fun combination because you're getting the intense vanilla, yummy, gooey deliciousness of American oak, but you're getting a little bit of sherry in there too. So I am very excited to taste this. 46%, non-chill filter, natural color. It is Ralphie approved, except for the age statement thing, but, you know, on the nose. It's a fun nose. It's kind of dense. You have to kind of spend some time with it to disentangle what's going on. Well, oatmeal, first of all, there's a really strong, grainy sense to this. I mean, it's Lowland's whiskey. It's double distilled, but it's still Lowland, so you're going to get the graininess. But it's like nice oatmeal. This is like super expensive organic oatmeal that you bought at a farmer's market, something like that. Vanilla, oh yeah. There's also a cinnamon toast crunch note to this, which is awesome because it was one of my favorite cereals growing up, along with frosted mini wheats, which will never be topped. There's some prunes, there's some chocolate orange, there's a little bit of like a beef stock thing. Or maybe like beef bouillon cubes, something like that. Like beefy and salty. But then there's the distillate is absolutely punching through the cask here. Really, like, I mean, it's punching through, it's showing what it's got, but it's also working really well with the casks. Fresh flowers, lemon peel. There's like a pear brandy, a pear eau de vie thing, including there's like a metallic note I get in pear brandy, which is what really makes me think of this. It's like hot metal. A little touch of cardamom. There's some black pepper. In some ways, this puts me in mind of the Napogue Castle 14, which I absolutely love. That's Irish, obviously. A different character, but it's got that same vibe of like... So as a recovering menswear nerd, there's this concept of a four-season suit. So think like, a linen suit, two-piece, single-breasted, in like a more serious color, like a blue or charcoal or something. Lighter linen, something, but something you could throw on in the summer and not be sweating your ass off. But you could also, wear it in the winter and be able to pull it off and not be freezing. Something you could wear in pretty much any weather. That's kind of what this is. This is a four-season whiskey. It's got there's a freshness to this, which I could throw this on ice in summer or something, or chill it down at least, and enjoy it that way. But it also there's a weight and a little bit of darkness to this, which makes me think, hey, I could have this by a roaring fire, in the middle of a Chicago winter. Although we don't like our fires that much here in Chicago. Yeah, so that's the kind of territory. It's Lowland's Irish four-season whiskey style. On the palate. I mean, Kingsbarns is not the new Scotch distillery that anyone is talking about at any serious volume. Maybe people should be taking more notice of this. This cannot be very old whiskey. This because it can't be more than 7-8 years old. But there's terrific balance on this. It's like sweet and savory at the same time. On the front, it arrives very kind of peppery and floral and honeyed and slightly like beefy. It's got that kind of like, better than bouillon beef, roasted beef thing. But then as you head through the mid-palate into the finish, you're really finishing on, honey, but like more floral side of honey. Orange, lemon, vanilla. Like, the mouth presence is pretty darn solid on this. Like, it's hitting my tonsils. It's covering my mouth. But despite that, it still feels fresh and vibrant and kind of crushable, easy drinking. There's some oatmeal. There's the cinnamon toast crunch thing again. What is that? It's not grass. I'm going to say like a mixed herbs thing. Something green. It's very subtle. Cardamom. Pecan pie. Oh, here's a fun one. Like a perry note, like pear cider. But also a little bit of regular cider. It's just delicious. This is one, you could have this as a house malt. This is really, really fabulous. And drink it any time of day, any kind of weather. Yeah, nice. Now this one's a little bit more scary. I will say, so what is this? So Isle of Raasay. This is the limited edition 2024 cask strength release at, what is the strength on this? 61.3%, 8,400 bottles. And I will say, if I had seen the cask breakdown on this, I probably would not have bought it. Let me read this to you. Okay, so it's a mix of peated and unpeated distillate, because they make both. It's kind of a really cool distillery, actually. But they're using rye casks. Okay. They're using chinkapin casks, which is kind of a Midwest oak. If you're a fan of like shanks and various Buffalo Trace experiments, you know chinkapin. And also Bordeaux red wine casks. Oh no! Yes, this is a little scary, but there's cool things about this. A lot of the barley's locally sourced. They're getting local peat. They're trying to keep everything as local as they possibly can. And yeah, so it's not going to be old. This was founded 2017, so at most you're talking 5-6 year old whiskey, right? Ooh. A different world completely from the Kingsbarns. And I like the Kingsbarns. Like, I'm probably going to like both of these for very different reasons. They're calling this lightly peated. I mean, light compared to what? Compared to Supernova? I mean, this is pretty darn peaty on my nose. We're not Lefroy. We're in like Beaumont or Ardmore kind of territory here. But the peat is also very distinctive. This is really grungy stuff. It is lightly malt, like salty, kind of maritime. So you got that little Talisker-y thing in there, but it's also kind of floral in the way that Highland Park can sometimes do. It's a little bit like ashy and twiggy. I guess Talisker can do that. And it's very, very, very barnyardy. So there's like stinky pigs and old dogs and cow poo kind of in the background of this. This is fun. But there's like, what is that? There's something fruity to this that's really hard to nail down. It's almost like umeboshi, like a pickled plum note. Just little hints of like red and black fruits, like a mixed fruit jam or something like that. But it's not in your face. White pepper. Sorry. There's some vanilla on this, some Russian caravan tea. So slightly smoky tea. Like cafe mocha. There's some ginger snaps. Oriental tobacco. A dried strawberry note, you know, like the little Special K strawberries. That's in here. It's really, it's edgy. It's grungy. It's different. But I think I like it. Which, given the cask breakdown, is not something I was expecting to say. On the palate. This is extremely good. This is very, very good. I mean, there's this question hanging over everyone's head of, you know, when are the new distilleries in Scotland or in Ireland or everywhere, when are they going to start getting serious and start really, you know, making trouble for the heritage brands and stuff? This is where it starts. This is very serious. Wow. Like I was saying that the Ardnahoe was like a different spin on, you know, Islay. This is even more alien to traditional Scotch. I mean, some of it is the casks, but a lot of it is just, I think, the character of the peat, maybe? This is interesting stuff. So you're getting strawberry, dark plum, some cherry. Some of it is fresh, some of it is like stewed or even dried. Dark chocolate, vanilla, Russian caravan tea. Again, Oriental tobaccos. But it's all wrapped together with that kind of like intense floral, sea salty, twiggy, ashy, super stinky, dank barnyard peat thing. It's kind of gross, but I kind of like it. Black pepper. Umeboshi again. Here's a fun one. Rosé champagne. Yeah, so one of my go-tos, the André Clouet Rosé. I think number 6 or something. They put a number on it. It's the one in the really, really pink bottle. There's a little bit of that going on in here. There's like yeasty strawberries, something like that. But also lemon bars. And kind of like a sweetie, like a sugary cereal thing. It's not Frosted Flakes. I think it's Captain Crunch. Let's go with Captain Crunch. Yeah. Very, very serious whiskey. Yeah, this is what the new distilleries can do. They're worth your time. So we'll come back to this. It's 4 squirts. It'll probably take 5. Yeah, wow. When this thing showed up, because I bought it at an online retailer because the prices were better. When this thing showed up, and I saw the cask list, I was expecting to hate it. I was expecting it to be a big old mess. And to some extent, like, it's messy, but wow. Wow. Okay, back to the Kingsbarns, assuming I can taste anything still. Kingsbarns, Balcomie, round 2. On the nose, Softens up a little. No, that's not right. It's not so much that it softens up a little. It's that it feels like the distillate is pushing through even that little bit more. Like just lemon drops. I mean, it smells like a fresh, barley-driven Lowland whiskey. And that's just a style I absolutely love. It's really pretty. It's not a big, shouty, bombastic whiskey by any means. That's not the game this is playing. And you can kind of tell that that's not the game this is playing because they went with American oak on the sherry casks. It just wants to be yummy. That's what this wants to be. On the palate. Ooh. So, similar kind of story. It's really the distillate pushing through. It picks up some pepper and some more mouth presence, actually. I mean, yeah, this is silky. Sometimes smooth does not mean a lack of character. Sometimes it means a positive character of, oh boy, does this feel nice in my mouth. So I sometimes talk about how if you're running a tasting or something, or something similar to that, you want to have some big virtuosic showpieces. You want to have some bombs that are going to leave people going, wow, what the heck was that? You don't want to fill the tasting up with those, though, because after 2 or 3 of those darn, bombs, people just aren't tasting it anymore. So this is the kind of thing you throw in, especially like maybe at the beginning, that people can go, oh, this is super yummy, but it's complex enough to make them, step up, to warm them up. And kind of get them, you know what I'm talking about, right? I had a thought going there, and I started thinking about the Raasay again. Anyway, so this is the kind of thing you can just keep around that is complex enough to challenge you, to get your palate going, to get your mouth salivating, but it's not going to blow you out too much. This is very nice. I know we're all, clamoring for more Daftmill and stuff. Like, pay some attention to Kingsbarns. This is really good. It's just a great example of a super duper crushable malt. So, Kingsbarns Balcomie. Can I find an 86 on this? I don't think I can. I can't get an 86, but it's an 85 plus. And that is a strong plus. You know what? I'm going to give this an emoji. I'm going to give this a heart emoji because it deserves it. 85 plus with a heart emoji for the Kingsbarns. All right, moving back to the Raasay Limited Edition 2024. See what water does to this thing. This might turn it into a mess. Let's see. Nope. I mean, it's peaty, fruity, like Lapsang Souchong lemon curd. If anything, it's the graininess kind of coming out now. I wasn't really... This didn't really strike me as a grainy whiskey in the same way that, say, the Kingsbarn did. Now it's starting to come through. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of like toasted oatmeal kinds of things happening. And I'm not mad about it on the palate. This is terrific. If anything, the smoke actually, the peat smoke, I mean, actually recedes a little bit. So you're really getting like honey and fruit jam with a little bit of a peat halo. And then there's a wicked, like, smoky, peppery, tannic back end on this. That's kind of really fun, too. This is good. This is very good. It's edgy. It's weird. But it's just fabulous. Score, I can't get into the 90s with this. I don't even know if I can find an 89. The mouth presence is there. I would love a little bit more complexity. I mean, there's lots of flavors already, but they're all kind of wrapped up into each other. They're not like coming out to speak in the way that I would like. But for a whiskey you could probably get for 60 euros, 65 euros, this is worth your interest. I'm going to call this an 88-point malt. Yeah, so it's weird. Be aware that it's weird. Be aware that the cask list is very scary, but this brings it. And yeah, that's the video, I guess. So 85 plus with a heart emoji for the Kingsbarns Balcomie, and 88 points for the Isle of Raasay 2024. Yeah, don't forget about Scotch. I know it's the drink of, stuffy old men, and, the malt maniacs are probably pushing 130 at this point. Becoming old conservatives. But, no, it's things are getting more sane over there. Things are getting more interesting in Scotland. So even if you're a run nerd, even if you're an Armagnac nerd, it might be worth it, your attention. Thanks for watching, and cheers.